What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So as you guys read in the title of today's video, I just wanted to go over a quick little trading update with you guys. What stocks am I currently trading? What stocks am I currently watching? As well as my plans for the rest of this week in terms of swing trading. And so for those of you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Stas, and I make videos dealing with swing trading, day trading, long-term investing, and my personal philosophies and strategies when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. So for those of you guys that are interested in learning more about that, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and feel free to join our Discord group chat and our Facebook group. Both of those are linked down below in the description box. We're talking about stock market investing, trading, entrepreneurship, and pretty much just networking with each other, bouncing ideas off of each other in those groups on a daily basis. So if you guys are interested in learning more about that, feel free to join the two communities again down below in the description box. So let's talk about stocks, guys. What stocks am I currently trading? What stocks am I currently keeping an eye on? So for those of you guys that watched my previous video on Sunday talking about the top 3 stocks or the top couple of stocks that I'm watching for this upcoming week, which is this week, the 3rd week in September, Micron was one of those stocks that I was watching. And Micron is going to be a very interesting play for this week, and it's already up 4% today. We saw a very good day in Micron, up $1.75, up about 4%. And you know why we're watching Micron from the get-go, for those of you guys that were not able to watch that video, is because we saw some very good news for those people that are holding Micron shares long, right? For people that are holding the shares for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. We saw David Tepper, which is a very good analyst with very good credentials, right? This guy is a huge investor with returns of about 20 to 30% every year for the past however long he's been investing. We talked about this in the previous video, but this guy came out in the news and said, you know, I'm still long on Micron shares. I still believe in the company very long term due to memory being a very key component in where our future is headed in terms of technology, right? And this shot up Micron shares from about $40, I believe, is when this news came out. And we see it right here, right? We see this big day that we saw here in Micron. I think this was that day. We came up from about 41.30 all the way up to about 44.50, right? We saw some support level here on the EMA line. Very good support there. We saw a nice little, nice little pullback in the stock, right back to about $43. And then we bounced up and pushed for another higher high, which is a very good sign and what I was waiting for, in Sunday's video, right? I was talking about how I think Micron is going to have a big week this week, especially due to David Tepper's, announcement of the stock, right? And their earnings are actually coming out on the September 20th, which is in 2 days. Today's Tuesday, so they come out on Thursday after market hours, I believe. We can see the bell here. Nope, I did not mean to click that. But yeah, we see the bell here, on Micron stock. So the earnings are coming out in a couple of days, right? So this is a very good opportunity, in my opinion, or not really in telling you guys to invest or trade, but it's a very good opportunity just to keep an eye on, right? Because it's already up 4%, right? The good news from David Tepper plus the earnings coming out. So looking at the technical analysis here for Micron, we're at a point of resistance here under the 50-day SMA indicator. And why I'm saying this is a point of resistance, because in the past, guys, Micron has had difficulty breaking above this 50-day SMA indicator, although it did break above here once. From this point, right, once it got rejected by the 180 SMA indicator right at about $57.41, we pushed back down and it had trouble getting above this 50-day SMA indicator, right? We peaked above here, broke below it again, and now we're going to be right under this 50-day SMA indicator. So it's going to be very interesting to see and keep an eye on whether or not Micron is going to be able to break above this resistance point. And we already see a red candlestick starting to form after market hours. But if Micron is able to bounce here and continue to push up with earnings reports coming out on the 20th, if their earnings are good, I do see Micron pushing back up into the $50 range very soon, right? So this is good news for Micron all in all. We saw Tesla today took a very nice pullback and it's hovering a little bit beneath the 50-day SMA indicator right here. And this could be, this can serve as a support level for Tesla. So we've seen Tesla hit lows of about 262 over the past week, or over the past, about a week, right? Ever since Elon Musk went on the Joe Rogan show smoking weed, right? That shot the stock down all the way to 262. Good buying opportunity for some people. There was money money made for people that traded it from $260 up to about $300. That's a very solid profit margin there. And what we see now is a healthy pullback in Tesla stock. Like I said, it's slowly hovering above this 50-day SMA indicator. So if we're able to hold above that support level here on the 50-day SMA, this could be a good potential for a swing trade from 285 up to previous resistance points at $300. That's 5%. And if we're able to continue this uptrending pattern and push for another higher high up to previous resistance points at this 180 SMA indicator, right? Because this has acted as a resistance point in the past, as we see here, right? You know, that offers about 10% for this particular stock. So keeping my eyes on very closely, you know, Tesla and Micron for this week due to Micron's earnings report and due to Tesla's very nice pullback here, and it's hovering above the 50-day SMA. So that's a very attractive sign in my personal opinion for Tesla. Now to shout out two lower price stocks. These are considered penny stocks, right? I don't really trade penny stocks too much, but these two are on my radar as of now because they do fit my particular, you know, swing trading criteria. So let's talk about those very quickly. So ATRS is one that I really like in terms of the pattern here. And just to cover the pattern really quickly for you guys, we notice that ATRS is on an uptrending pattern over time, right? It's riding the EMA, riding the 180 SMA, and riding the 50-day SMA indicator over the past couple of months, right? And it's been making higher highs, pulling back, showing healthy corrections, and pushing back up to make another higher high, right? That's a very good sign in terms of a healthy stock, right? Because we don't want to see a stock pushing up in price without the pullbacks, right? Because we want to be able to trade in the pullbacks as they're confirming the bounce on the pullbacks and, you know, profit on the way back up, right? So we can see examples of that here. We pushed up to another higher high. This will not be a good opportunity to trade it right here, but waiting for the pullback, waiting for the bounce here on the 50-day SMA, waiting for that break up above, this would be a good opportunity to profit on the stock, right? We noticed that here as well, right? Breaking above, or no, not breaking below. We saw the break below the 50-day SMA. We saw the pullback here, the bounce on the 180 SMA. That would have been another good opportunity to trade the stock. And here we saw the big, massive push up from 263 all the way to 370. And now we see the big pullback from 370 down to about 310. And now the break above the EMA and the confirmed bounce on the 180 SMA, right? So this one's looking very good because it's already bounced on the 180 SMA. The support here is very clear. It broke above the EMA line right now, and we do see it had a 7% day to day, so waiting for a little pullback and maybe a bounce on the EMA, you know, at about maybe 330, maybe 325 would be ideal before entering in this in the stock, in my personal opinion. ATRS. And, you know, that's what I'm going to be waiting for before I do invest in this particular stock. So in terms of my trades this week, I do have a small position in Tesla right now. And you guys know that I've been trading Micron, and I'm slowly adding more shares into my Micron position after this very good news, like I said, about David Tepper coming out. And I do believe that Micron's earnings will be good this week. And we'll talk about that in a specific video when they do report their earnings. I'll make a separate video on Micron's earnings on Thursday. So, you know, in terms of, you know, the stocks that I'm watching, those are the three main ones that I'm watching. There is another one that I'm watching that is a lower price stock. I think it's CNAT, right? Ticker symbol CNAT. Okay, this one's another one that popped up very hard today, up 13% in the stock's price, up 54 cents, right? And this one does have momentum on its side, right? This one does have potential to continue to run due to this big pop-up that it had today of 13%. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on very closely because just like, you know, what was the other one? ATRS. Just like ATRS, CNAT, this one already confirmed the bounce here at the support level at about 415, where we have seen it bounce before in the past, right? Right here, that's very confirmed. That's a confirmed support level. Bounce there, pushed up above the EMA, and obviously we had a very big day today in the stock, 13%. So what I'm going to be waiting for tomorrow in pre-market hours, I want to be able to see if CNAT is going to pull back a little bit and continue to bounce on this EMA line, right? Because again, we saw the 13% day. You know, I want to see it either pull back here and, you know, bounce at about 460, 455 right by this EMA line, or continue to push up strong and break above this 50-day SMA, because in that case, you know, it's going to continue to push up since it does have momentum on its side. So, you know, that's what I'm looking at in terms of CNET and the other stocks that we talked about. Let's see, what other ones can we talk about really quickly today? You know, Apple's another one that I'm watching very closely, guys. We did see a pullback in Apple stock right back down to that support level that we saw it go at a couple of days back, right at about 215 to 216. We saw Apple pull back from 230 to 216 in the past, and it shot back up to about 230 again. So this is a very critical support level right now for Apple stock. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not Apple is going to be able to hold this support level and reverse from here. And if it does, guys, let's say we get in at $220 as a little swing trade, this one does have solid potential for profit. It has about 4 to 5% potential for profit in this particular stock. And again, it's a key for Apple to hold the support level at about 216, 217 for us to consider trading this particular stock. So some other ones I wanted to talk about today. One was DGAS, guys. This is a natural gas-based ETF, and we saw natural gas today. It shot up about 11 cents, right? It was up about 4%. It blew past the 180 SMA indicator, which has been a resistance point in the past, and it blew past about 290, which was a previous support level for natural gas. And remember, when a certain stock or a commodity or future or, you know, an ETF has a support level from the past, guys, right? And we notice the support level here is 290, and this was a couple of weeks ago, right? And we broke below that support level. Whenever a support level or an old support level is broken beneath of, it becomes a new resistance point, right? We've talked about this in a bunch of videos, and we see that's exactly what happened here to natural gas. We broke below there, right? And from there, you know, it got rejected here again by the 50-day SMA indicator. And from there, guys, it turned into a resistance point, right? 290 resistance. But what we noticed today in natural gas's price, it blew past that resistance point, which was the previous support level, right? And now it becomes a new support level again. But what I expect to happen in terms of natural gas, since it's extremely overextended right now in terms of the RSI levels, and the price, guys, it's been up about 11 to 12 cents today, right? That's ridiculous. We don't see a red candlestick in sight in terms of natural gas. So what I expect for this to happen, what I expect to happen in natural gas, in terms of natural gas, is that we see a little pullback tomorrow, whether that be on this support level here, whether it pulls back and bounces at 290 then continues to push up, or whether we see a pullback, a break below the support level and a ride back down closer to the EMA line. You know, I do expect natural gas to be, you know, pulling back tomorrow. And I did call out UGAS on my Sunday video as a potential 1 to 2 day swing trade or potential day trade. And from there, guys, you know, UGAS has been up 11%, right? I called it out here, $54, $55, $56. It was in Sunday's video. You guys can go check that out. But, you know, I was watching this UGAS, DGAS, you know, combo in that video. And, you know, it performed very well. And now that it's extremely overextended in terms of its price, you know, it's up 12%. RSI levels are showing that it's overbought here at the 70 level, and the natural gas prices are even higher, right? Those are at the 80 level. You know, I expect a pullback, which means DGAS might be a good day trade tomorrow or for the next 1 to 2, 3 days as a swing trade, right? So keeping my eyes on very closely, guys, on these ETFs. And this is, you know, a very good opportunity in my personal opinion. If natural gas does pull back here and shows that, you know, shows that downwards momentum that we've been seeing over the past couple of weeks for natural gas, right? And we notice here, guys, the last time it had a big green day, the next day it pushed back down heavily, right? So we're going to see whether or not it breaks above this resistance point that it's at here at about 293. If it breaks above there, guys, it could continue to be a runner. But, you know, if it breaks, you know, if it gets stopped here at the resistance point, starts to curl back down in price, this one could be headed down, which means DGAS will be a good, you know, day trade, 1 to 2, 3 day swing trade, like I said, right? So that's what we're looking at in terms of these ETFs, guys, you know, the natural gas-based ETFs. And another stock I wanted to shout out before before I do finish out this particular video is Netflix, guys. So Netflix seems to have found its bottom here at about 315. From there, it broke above the EMA, broke above the 50-day SMA, and broke above the 180 SMA. So in terms of the uptrend pattern, that is there for Netflix. And now we're seeing it's kind of trading, horizontally in its price. We see a support level here on Netflix at about 340. And it bounced here at about 350, which means it's making higher lows, right? It's making higher lows in its price, meaning that it could continue to push up in price, meaning that it could be on this uptrend bullish pattern that we like seeing, right? So let me just draw these candlesticks out for you really quickly, right? We see this right here in Netflix, right? It made a higher high, like I said, made a higher low, right? Low, higher low here, higher low here. So this one could potentially continue to push up in this bullish formation that it's slowly forming. And we saw a good 5% day today, up about $17.30. So this one's going to be worth keeping an eye on to see whether or not it's going to be able to break out of this $370 resistance point. Because if we do see a little bit closer here, guys, Netflix does have a resistance point at about 370. It had trouble getting above it here a couple of weeks back. It had trouble getting above it here last week in last week's trading session. And now it's nearing that same resistance point. So we're going to be keeping an eye on closely, and I'm going to set an alert for Netflix stock at about 370. Let's give it like $372.50. Let's do that very quickly. So that's pretty much it, guys. The key ones I'm watching this week are Netflix, Micron, Tesla, and these two penny stocks that I was talking about, ATRS and CNET. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on, these very closely for the rest of this week, as well as DGAS as a potential, swing trade or day trade tomorrow, depending on how natural gas does. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter if you guys want to. You can also follow those two groups I talked about in the beginning of the video, which is the Discord group chat, as well as the Facebook group. Those are both linked down below in the description box. And again, make sure to do your own research when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. Do not buy or sell based off of my opinion or anybody else's opinion out there, because that's not how you're going to become a self-sufficient trader over time. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let's make some money this week. Peace.